You need to know how to deal with stress if you want to become your greatest potential, if you want to become your strongest version of yourself, a high achiever in this reality, in business, in relationship, in athletic performance, in creative performance, musician, whatever it is that you want to accomplish, you have to deal and know how to deal with stress. And this is why. It is that stress is part of the energy system. It is a way to fortify, distill, clarify, and make things better. Coal is put under pressure and becomes a diamond. When we go to the gym, we lift weights, we put our muscles under pressure, we load them to demand a greater potential of them. This is how the energy system works. It's an inevitable part. You can't get away from stress, but you can tune, you can update how you deal with stress and how it feels to you. Stress is pressure put onto the system. Many of us internalize this pressure. So we then start feeling these different emotions that we connect with stress. We start feeling anxious, we start feeling antsy, out of body, all of these things. These are indicators that you are not dealing with stress the accurate way. So you need to learn how to transform it and transmute it and take advantage of the opportunity rather than it destabilizing and putting your system out of whack. Stress also amplifies frequencies and energies. So it makes it very visible what the weaknesses are and what the strengths are. You can see this with people who are very under a lot of stress. You can see it with your loved ones when they're under stress. Their worst side of them often comes out. And this is because it amplifies weaknesses and strengths, and more people actually have more weaknesses than they have strengths. So it's easier to see the weaker part than the strongest part. Because everything is energy, everything moves, and everything is an oscillation, this means that everything spirals. Things will spiral up or it will spiral out of control. You have to decide and be very in control of how you want this movement to be. The more in control you are, the more masterful you become, and the more you can take advantage of all opportunities in life, including stress. There is no option to stay still. This is not part of the energy system. That is not how it works. Energy moves. If you stand still, that is equal to decay. You're not in decay. You're always moving. You have to master how the energy system works. This is what I teach my clients. This is what I coach. I'm an intuitive creative consultant. So I help people through mental performance coaching and energy work, but this is timeless energy work. So it's not the same level that, say, Reiki would work on. I work at the beyond the subconscious level where I help fine-tune the equations of energy, so I can see the equations of energy. And here is where the mental performance coaching comes in. They are aware of why they should take the decisions that they have to because they know how the energy system works. Therefore, their logical mind never goes against what their timeless awareness wants, and then everything can move in a cohesive piece. This is where they can achieve peak performance states that are much higher than the average person. I'll talk about why that is in a little bit. There's 3 stages that plays into this when it comes to stress. The first level is you have to detect the subconscious programming. You don't need somebody who like me for that. You can do this on your own. What you do is you observe. You observe everything in detail in your life. You are the lion that is hunting, but you do that by just observing, not showing you keep your poker face on. So you don't show anything. You just observe it. Don't disrupt the pattern. Let it play out. See every detail. See the colors. See the loops. See that I have been here so many times before, and see exactly where they initiated, what happened, who are you around? Is it an avatar? Is it the same kind of person that appears that triggers this? Where in your body do you feel it? You detail it. The more you can realize or notice all of this, the more of the program you can tune. So we can't ever stop anything completely, but we can update and tune things into better versions. The second phase is to master the strengths and the weaknesses. So now you realize the programs. Now you see what is happening, what the subconscious is informing you of. It's very, very generous in that way. Your subconscious will always tell you how you, because it's the same, sees reality. It would tell you through words, through actions, through the playouts and through the people that you attract and the experiences that you attract. It doesn't have anything to do with you. It doesn't say anything about you as a person, if you're good or bad, or if you're in worth or not. It's telling you the state, the data that it's in. Take advantage of that. Tune it. Now you can really start becoming that beautiful diamond. You can start working on your weaknesses, start molding and shaping them. So nobody is there is no perfect human in the sense that there's nobody who has no weaknesses. But the more aware you become of your weaknesses and the more aware you become of your strengths, all of these and when they play out and why they play out, you can detect exactly when it happens, and you can also control and move things how you want it. Once you control that, you also are the master. You're not the puppet. You are now the driver, you're not the passenger. And that's very important for the next level, which is mastery level, the third phase. So the third level is where stress is used in order to become the best version of yourself. So you observed it, you observed how stress feels, how it enacts. Then in the next, in the second phase also included, you have to start noticing internal stressors versus external stressors. Internal stressors are interpretations, feelings that you have, that feelings that you associate with stress. This can be anxiety, feeling restless, all of that. All of those emotions are not stress. They are playouts that happen when you are under stress for various reasons. So you have to notice that difference. Then there are external stressors. External stressors can be you are in a competition and now there is external pressure or external stressors of various kinds coming from outside in towards your energy system. Here you have to, if it's too much for your body, you have to look at boundaries. You have to look at what the energy system is doing. It might be that you are running energy the inaccurate way. It might be that you're not at the level that you are competing at yet, and therefore it's just like a lot onto the system. So you constantly, with energy, you're constantly driving it. So in level 3, you are the master, so you're driving your vehicle. The human energy system has many gears. Barely anybody talks about this, but this is what we talk about when we talk about the internal drive. The internal drive are actually gear states that you have in order to achieve peak performance. In our culture, there is a promotion that says that when you work 20 hours, sleep 4 hours, don't eat properly, do this, do that, drink, do all of that, the rock star bullshit, you are a successful being. However, people like that are I've seen them very unsexy because they're driving energy the wrong way. They are they're burning their system. It's not visible in this moment, but it will be in 20, 30, 40 years because it's like the body can't handle that. There is no way that you can, that is possible. What is really, really attractive is when people know how to drive their internal gears. They know how to use their drive. They know when to really amp up energy, when to really drive the energy. They know when to relax. They know when to lean in. They know when to take it easy. They know when to hunt. They know when to harvest. All of this is part of sustaining a peak performance level that is fun, sustainable. It is actually based in resonance, so it's self-maintaining. And that's a very different way of running energy than doing it through what I mentioned before. The last thing that I want to talk about when it comes to getting rid of stress is that the thing that you can do already today is that you can take a look and learn about your breath. If you're feeling or going through the sensation of stress, you can always take a breath in through the nose and relax out through the mouth. That in itself produces nitric oxide, which is actually what the parasympathetic system, the relaxation, the rest and digest system uses when it wants to come into, it uses that to fire certain functions. The exhale helps detoxify. So through your exhale, you're actually detoxing out from your lungs. What I'm talking about is not breath work, but just to show you an example. The Wim Hof method is showing that it alkalines the body into a particular state that then allows him to do certain functions. So it is a lot about controlling the breath. Now, what I'm talking about is that you learn your breath patterns. So I don't want you to alter your breath patterns. I want you to learn them. I want you to learn what your breath pattern is in your tempo, when you're asleep, when you're relaxing, when you're hyped, when you're exercising, when you're happy, when you're sad, all this. I want you to memorize it the same way a musician would memorize a chord or sheet music or a melody. I want you to memorize it into detail so you can replay it whenever you need, whenever you want. The reason for this is that you control the breath. And if you're in a state where you want to hype up energy or when you want to relax energy, if you want to tap into some of these drives that I teach some of my clients, you have to know how your breath works. You need to know when to initiate these different states. So the breath, the heart, the organs, all of it, the body is connected through your breath. Tap into your breath, listen to your breath, learn your breath. You're going to be very thankful about that. Also notice shallow, depth, rib, cage, out. Is it a belly breath? Diaphragm. Notice as much as you can. Posterior, anterior, front, back of the breath, all of that. Lastly, if you're in New York, February 4th, 11th, and 18th, so that's February 4th, 11th, and 18th, we are collaborating with OsteoStrong Upper West to put on free de-stress meditations for you. I'm so excited about this collaboration. I have coached at OsteoStrong for a long time. I don't do it anymore, but I've been one of their bone coaches for a long time, and I just love what they do. Their system helps build bone density. It helps build muscle density. And it's just so important. Like Zena, the owner, we were talking about this. She was saying that for her, it's very important to bring the stress level of her clients down because it helps with recovery. It helps with forming and growing new bones. This is very near and dear to both of us. We are also going to include the biochargers. So OsteoStrong is a biohacking place. So it has a frequency device called the biocharger. So these events are going to include the frequencies of music, the frequencies of a biocharger, and the frequency of you, the frequency of the human body. And I will teach you a 5-step process that you can do anytime, daily, in order to regulate and tap in to your inner potential of being your greatest self whenever you need. Because stress, we need to change how we look at stress. Stress is not something that you have to avoid. It is something that you need to convert and transform in order to use that surge into your system, into betterment. But the first step is always relaxation and calming down. There's no need to overhype the system and burn out. You need to learn how to use that momentum into fortifying yourself into the beautiful diamond that you are, the crystalline diamond being that you are all the time. So I hope I see you there. It's a free event, but you have to RSVP. So send us an email at hi@generationwatts.com. I hope you get the information. I hope it was of value. Press subscribe, hit like. We're going to get more videos like this to you. And it's just beautiful to come into togetherness and oneness. So if you're in New York, come to the Upper West Side. It's these Wednesdays, February 4th, February 11th, February 18th, 5:30. I'll see you there. This is Kissy of Generation Watts, and I'll leave the information in the description below. Have a great day. Bye.